Thank you very much, Shalom. Greetings to you all. It was Israel Independence Day. She turned 68, a country that began with a few 100,000 refugees and survivors of man's great inhumanity to man, throwaways, which no country wanted. And they fought against all odds, hatreds, tens of millions of neighbors who wanted them destroyed, to stand where they are now, a country of almost 9 million, which leads the world in technology, agrarian growth and development, alternative fuels, and is a permanent home to world Jewry. A place where whatever happens in your life, whatever disaster may befall, is a welcome shelter from the storm. And that, my friends, is a hell of a feeling. Happy birthday, and may there be many, many more. I hope you all are now enjoying the nicer weather, the longer days, the beauty of life. So if you want to skip a week of Torah reading or two, see you soon, because this is it. These last few weeks of Leviticus are about as dull and repetitive and boring as it gets. And of course, there is a lot more repetition when we get to Deuteronomy, the book of words, a book which does not fit in many ways. After we return to the great adventure in Numbers, which should be around June 11th. But for those who persevere or check the site, I will continue to try and find something interesting, something innovative, something inviting in each parsha we look at. But I do understand if you want to skip a few more weeks. These are the ones to skip. We are still in the holiness code, except now we're focusing on the group that ensures and carries out that holiness. This is Emor Say. Say you, say me. Say it for always. That's the way it should be. Say you, say me. Say it together, naturally. We should do so much together. It would be a much better world, my friends. Well, there's no doubt who would have written this parsha, as it opens partially describing the exalted position of the priest, about his wife, his daughter, his status, even about his own perfection. You see, to serve God, he had to have no imperfections. Why? Is this just segregating themselves as a class superior to others? Or is it because they, like the animal sacrifices, had to have no imperfections to be worthy of God, who some think has strayed past the all are his to only special people are his? And that is certainly more of a God made in the image of man than man made in the image of God. It's like Animal Farm, where all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. Here all men are holy, but some are more holy. Now, even though it could appear that way, it's really not the case. See, it's not that the priests are better. They simply serve a special role, and that role requires them to, like a good judge, rise to greater heights, not be swayed by personal opinion or bias, and help guide the people learning to live by God's laws. And make no mistake, we are being presented with a series of laws encompassing every aspect of life, because they are social, ritual, moral, and ethical. See, priests still are holy in a singular way because of their role. This matter of degree between the people's holiness and the priest's holiness will become an issue in the matter of Korah's rebellion in Numbers, but we're not there yet. Now, the priest could still serve in minor capacities if he were defective at all, but Leviticus 21:23, he shall not come in by the curtain, nor shall he draw near to the altar, for there is a defect in him, and he shall not profane my sanctuaries, for I am the Lord who hallows you. Just as the animal offered in sacrifice must be unblemished, the officiant offering the sacrifice must too be without physical blemish. And we've just celebrated the Festival of Freedom, and we read regarding the sacrifice made by the priest. And should a priest buy a person as the purchase of his silver, that person may eat of it, and he who was born in his household. Again, the purity of the priest is a contagion. It spreads throughout his household. But notice the ownership of others is a part of this society. Slavery was different than we think of it. Maimonides could comment that a slave could have the mentality of a free man, while a free man could have the mentality of a slave. Because freedom, and what determines true slavery, is about the fears that rule you. But this is a book that talks about the rules of the priest, and what stands for him stands for his household. And now what we find in this parsha is the calendar is set for sacred gatherings. In Leviticus 23:1, and it is pretty straightforward. These are the fixed times of the Lord, which you shall call sacred convocations. These are my fixed times. 6 days shall tasks be done, and on the seventh day an absolute Sabbath, a sacred convocation. No task shall you do. It is a Sabbath for the Lord in all your dwelling places. These are the fixed times of the Lord, sacred convocations which you shall call in their fixed time. In the first month, on the 14th of the month at twilight, a Passover offering to the Lord. And on the 15th day of this month, a festival of flatbread to the Lord. 7 days shall you eat flatbread. Now notice, the holidays start with Shabbat, a ceasing. And then it goes into particular holidays. Now the next one goes on, and you shall count from the morrow of the Sabbath, from the day you bring the elevation sheaf. 7 whole weeks shall they be. Until the morrow of the seventh Sabbath you shall count 50 days, and you shall bring forward a new grain offering to the Lord. And of course the holiday of Shavuot is this 7-week holiday that takes place 7 weeks later. It then goes on, in the 7th month, on the 1st of the month, you shall have a Sabbath, a commemoration with horn blast, a sacred convocation, and that day has now been conscripted as Rosh Hashanah. Yet on the 10th of the 7th month is the Day of Atonement, a sacred convocation it shall be for you. And you shall afflict yourselves and bring forward a fire offering to the Lord. And then the schedule of fixed times is wrapped up. On the 15th day of the 7th month, the Festival of Huts, 7 days to the Lord. And this Festival of Huts, we all know, is Sukkot. There you go, all laid out, nice and easy. The appointed times, the fixed times. Call them what you may. And what do you notice? Well, explanation of the background and purposes of the holidays. Well, these are things that are of a concern to Genesis, Exodus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. The concern of Leviticus is to instruct the people on how to observe them properly. Notice also that 2 of the holidays are unnamed. The first fruits one and the horn blowing one on the first day of the 7th month. Each is accompanied by instructions only on how to observe, not why we observe. In fact, all but one have a date associated with them, and only one has a historical association. And that single exception, my friends, is about living in booths during the feast of Sukkot in order to remember that Yahweh had Israel live in booths when he brought them out of Egypt. And notice, my friends, that the months are not named. They are simply numbered. So how, with all of this, do we maintain holiness? Is it by memorizing dates? Is it by following laws? No. We do that today by being an example to those that we teach. And we teach everyone who comes after us. We are all holy. And it is a contagion. We spread holiness like sunshine in our being an example to others. We have no priests anymore. We've become a rabbinic culture, and the primary role of the rabbi is to teach. Yes, you are all holy, and you are all teachers. Now, there's one other really significant matter of note in this parsha. It's further evidence that in biblical times a person's identification was based on the father. That is, on patrilineal descent. In every case we've encountered so far, the woman and the children take the ethnic and religious identity of the woman's husband. Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, Rachel, Zipporah, and their children. And all sons of Levite fathers are Levites, regardless of the tribal origins of their mothers. Likewise, all tribal identification is through the father. And this continues through the Tanakh until the time of Ezra and Nehemiah. At that point, it appears to change, because when Nehemiah opposes marriages of Jewish men to women from certain other groups, he instructs that their children be excluded. And of course, in post-biblical Judaism, identification came to be based on the mother, which is our matrilineal descent. In the Torah, however, it follows the father in every case. Identification by patrilineal descent, in addition to matrilineal descent, not in place of it, is at present a matter of dispute among all the movements in Judaism. And it is so easy to miss here, but it's something that you should think about. The world is sacred, so is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish, celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light, and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, and end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together. We celebrate each other. We love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. Let us send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, good healing to all who need it. And we all actually do need it. And please do learn to forgive. Learn to love. Open your hearts and honor the relationships of life. Tell those you love that you love them. You hear me tell you that all the time. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy the journey with them. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Send healing, goodwill, and love to all who need it. The time to celebrate your holiness is now. As always, bless you all. Have a fantastic week. Week of love and light and peace and healing. And honor the people of your life. They say prayer has the power to heal. So pray for me, Mother. In the human heart, an evil spirit can dwell. I'm trying to love my neighbor and do good unto others. But, oh, Mother, things ain't going well. Ain't talking, just walking through this weary world of woe. Heart burning, still yearning. No one on earth would ever know. Do not stop talking. Keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching, keep spreading your holiness. It is a contagion. Thank you all for joining me. I will see you all next time. Shabbat Shalom.